I have my music going. We are live. Come on into the frame. Hi.
What are you waving at?
We will get started in 1 minute.
Is it cool if I have more questions too?
Sure. Hey everyone, welcome to this week of Wellness Wednesday. I'm Coach Yvette with Walking in Wellness, encouraging you to be healthy, helping you to be healthy, and inspiring you to age naturally. This week we have a guest. This is Kyle with Meeks Media, and he is going to be interviewing me in a sense. So he has some questions ready, and I have some answers ready, and he's going to have some impromptu questions as well. And we're going to just try and dive in and go over some information to help you get a better idea of what I have to offer, my experience as a wellness coach, and anything that's off the top of his mind that I may have an answer to. So some of the questions have come in, and then some of them we just came up with on our own, but we're going to just kind of have like a back-to-back interview session. You guys can sit back, enjoy, and hopefully you will learn something at the end, and we will share what we know. So I will turn it over to Kyle. And first question you may have for me?
Okay, real quick.
Yes.
If you guys notice any resemblance or whatever, this is my mom. I'm her son. Meeks Media is like my company or whatever I've been doing for like 10, 11 years now or whatever. So we've been working together more recently trying to build more media, you know? And I guess I just want to start out asking you, because I know you've been healthy all my life, as long as I've been here. Like you've been like taking care of yourself, active, eating the right things, and encouraging everybody else too. But what inspired you to like bring it to other people, to like take that position as coach and like help other people with their process?
Yeah, well, when I first started diving into it, it had some ups and downs, because originally I thought I knew what I wanted to do to learn for myself. And I had my own trials and errors in figuring out what really worked for me. And then when I found something that really worked, I found out honestly how easy it is. That besides all of the misinformation out there and the different things that you should be doing this and you should be doing that, I found out that the formula really is quite simple. And once I narrowed that down, I was excited and I wanted to share that information with other people. So I started doing that on a smaller scale. And then more recently, just kind of making sure that it is a little more formatted into a business plan and sharing that with as many people as I possibly can, taking on one-on-one clients and working with them, giving them the benefit of everything that I learned on my journey. So it has been a little over 14 years now, and to be able to start something and maintain it for that time frame consistently, I think that it was an achievement for me, and I wanted to give people that secret sauce.
Cool. Well, you said it was easy. You found out it was easy. Can you tell me a little bit about that light bulb moment, or what? I know there's a million health and fitness tips or philosophies around, but was there any like key moment that kind of clicked for you?
I realized it was truly about nutrition. That the way that our body is designed and the way that it operates, it really does hit a daily reset button. And even when we think we've gone too far, we've done something to create too much damage, there are ways that we can pull it back to that reset point. And it's all surrounded around nutrition. Food is medicine. Eat to live, not live to eat. And all those sayings that you hear, when you really take stock in what they're saying and the meaning of it, it's the truth. Nutrition. So getting my nutrition in order, understanding what I needed to eat, when I need to eat it, how I need to eat it, what things to take out, how to prepare things, how to cleanse things. There are a whole host of different avenues, but they still are all surrounded around your nutrition and what you're eating. When I say the word diet, I'm not talking about a temporary diet. I'm talking about your diet, your nutrition, what you're intaking. And those simple things, the real food of it all, the simple ways that we can prepare things to maintain the flavor and the richness and nutrients of it. So that's really fueling your body and giving you what you actually need to be eating. Those habits, they may seem rocky from the start, but once you really understand the investment and the benefit that you're getting for your life, and you start doing that on a day-to-day basis, even in small increments, it is a monumental. You get the huge impact of your health and feeling better, and even looking better, reversing illnesses, reversing and slowing aging. All of those things are a part of your nutrition and what you're feeding your body. Of course, we have to incorporate movement, hydration, and some of those other things, but the largest component that I believe is our nutrition and what we're eating, and understanding how to maintain our bodies properly.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. So what are some things that people struggle with? Because I know there's a bunch of quotes. I'm forgetting, but there's one that, there's like a Bible quote that talks about, what am I saying? Basically, it's like self-discipline or something. And if you're not self-disciplined, you're like a city with its walls broken down. Like any other tribes or whatever can come in and take over or whatever. I forget the verse, but it stuck in my mind, and I feel like that applies to like everything, not just nutrition, but especially with nutrition. Like, what you said was like, we gotta eat right to be right, right?
Yes.
So, what are things that people struggle with, or what challenges happen when they're first trying to shift their diet and shift their mindset?
One of the first things I think people deal with is thinking they have to take everything out of their diet. I can't have this, I can't have that, I have to get rid of this, get rid of that. And I like to say, always focus on what you're bringing in. So I would focus more on, if I'm making a grocery list, or if I'm making a dish, a recipe, writing something down, what can I add to this that is going to aid my body and get me closer to that goal that I have set for myself? Adding those things in, the things that you don't need or don't need to be there, they will fall away. And then you can make a much more informed and purposeful choice to say, all right, I'm going to eliminate that now because I haven't been eating that for a certain time frame. I don't even have a craving for it. I don't have a taste for it. And then you will learn more how to tweak and change your different recipes so that you're adding in all the good things that you need and getting the benefit that way. That's one of the main things. My other tip is when I go to the grocery store, and I've shared this in other videos, is don't bring it into the house. It's like, if I am shopping for groceries and I know that my cart is like my body and I'm putting in the good things that I want in my body, I shouldn't put those negative things or those things that are not going to help me reach my goal into my cart in the first place. Therefore, it doesn't end up in my house. I don't have to say, hey, I want a snack, and I go to my cupboard and I have a bunch of empty calories or high sugary prepackaged foods that are going to do harm to me. I can right away say, I've got all the good stuff because that's what I brought into the house. So that's like I will stand on that forever. That is a huge, huge tip, because you're setting habits for yourself and you're being intentional about those habits. And when you don't have something to even tempt you, you don't have to fight yourself to say what you are or are not going to eat.
That makes sense.
Yes, that's a struggle that some people have.
Do you have a story of either a client, not to put anybody on blast, or even like a personal struggle that might have been when you first were shifting over?
I'd say a lot of times if you have a household full of people, it's harder to kind of be of the single mind. Me, I was single and you were small, and so I could be the boss. I could say, this is what we're eating in the house. But if you have multiple children, or, you know, a husband, a wife, a household, it can be a little bit more challenging to get everyone on one accord to say, hey, this is something that we're going to do for our good, and kind of put your foot down and say, these are the things that are going to come in the house. And again, understanding what you can add will make it easier, so that when they're reaching for a snack and they don't see that package of cookies that they maybe normally grabbed for, they'll have something else. Oh, you can have this instead. And you're incorporating these new things that become those foundational habits that you continue to build upon, and the other things will fall away. So understanding that truly is an investment. And I know we all love our kids, and part of that is teaching them how to have longevity, how to have a nice, long, quality life. And that is being healthy. You know, health is wealth. And so as you're teaching them that by example, and then also showing them what they can do to build these habits, so that in their adulthood, they will take that with them.
That's a good point, that like, especially when you're not just an individual person, like it kind of spreads. Like, yeah, it's a really good point that I don't really think about a lot. Like, also an individual, you know. Like, but yeah, especially if you're like running the household or organizing the household, that an investment in health for yourself benefits everybody.
Yes.
Like, it's a trickle down type thing.
Yes.
So.
And then that becomes generational. And especially if your family is someone who has dealt with illness generationally, you can cut that. You know, you can end that right there. And then going forward, that legacy of health becomes something your family is known for. Your kids teach it to theirs, and then so on and so forth. And again, it's never about depriving yourself or not having whatever same traditions and stuff or same meals. It is just a different perspective in how you look at it, and how you may cook it a little bit differently. You're going to add in something different, or add a little bit more to what you're doing, so that you're getting the best out of that nutrition and the foods that you're eating for your body.
And that, again, great points. I wanted to ask about how that trickles down. Like, say you are one individual person and you make this investment in like your physical health. Like, what else does that bleed over into, like having a better attitude? Because like you feel more energy, or like what other parts of your life are affected by investing in your health like that?
Yeah, investing in your health, it does have a trickle down effect, and it kind of spans out in other areas of your life as you do feel better. And then also, I always think and believe of the health from the inside out. So in a sense, sometimes people look better. It's like, man, what are you doing different? You look really great. I'm eating better, you know, I'm staying hydrated. I got in enough movement, you know, so that my body isn't creaking or or just, you know, sedentary, to the point where you start to actually feel, you know, cement. So it's like just having that mobility and that lightness, that freedom. And it creates a different level of confidence for you. And within that confidence, you can move better in the world and in your purpose and what you're set out to do. So as you're going about your day-to-day, you are accomplishing your purpose. You're not bogged down by illness. You're not, you know, stuck with having to deal with just some of the things that come along with dealing with illness, the extra expenses, the time, the stress of it all, even sometimes the stress that it may affect family members trying to care for you. And I know sometimes there are things that come along that we just can't help, and we have to deal with that. And, you know, thank God for healing. But there are instances where we are perfectly in good health, and we, in our habits, will do things to ourselves that creates an issue and creates an illness that is preventable and reversible. And so for those instances, we should do what we can in the natural, and, you know, trust God and work on everything else in the supernatural, and bring that together for the whole and for the good, so that we can walk out in our purpose. And as we are walking in that confidence and feeling better about ourselves, then we are getting more done. We are doing more. We are setting the great example. And then that trickles down to family members. Even if it's not your immediate family, extended family, you know, aunts, uncles, and cousins. They're like, man, Yvette, she's got a birthday coming up here pretty soon. I don't think she really looks like how old she actually is. What is she doing? Hydration, nutrition, movement, drinking water, minding my business. But all of those healthy habits that you have set into play they will shine from the inside out, and then you are able to accomplish what you need to accomplish. I feel like when you're freer, and you are lighter, then you're able to go ahead and walk that out a little bit better.
Makes sense. I took time to look up the verse just because I wanted to share it.
Yes.
It's Proverbs 25:28 says, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. So there's that.
Yeah.
Now it's in your brain too. You're responsible for it.
Yes. Now that we know, we have to act on that and keep that in mind. Very true.
Did you already talk about like wellness, what it means to you, and you briefly mentioned like healing from the inside out and working on your health from the inside out. Can you talk a little bit more about the different levels there are to health?
Well, it kind of, in my practice, the approach I like to take is things start with your mindset. They start with your mind, what you're thinking, what you're believing, and those things become your actions. And so then that's what you're doing, what you're habitually doing. And then once it is solidified as a habit and you have consistency, then it's your lifestyle. And that is just your it's a firm belief at that point. It's part of your lifestyle. You're doing it ongoing, and then you're going to reap the benefits from it. So starting with your mind, you have practical tips of what you can believe and what you can achieve, the things that you can do to change your diet and your nutrition, the things that you can do to increase your movement and mobility. And then once those habits are affirmed and those ideas are set in place, that's what creates that foundation and creates that lifestyle for you. So that each day that I'm getting up and going to sleep, I had a set plan of action and how I wanted to address things with me. Those thoughts are in the forefront of my mind. Each time I'm making a meal, each time I'm eating, if I'm grabbing for a drink, is this going to hydrate me, or is it going to probably make my blood sugar spike? Is it going to have too much sodium? And so then that's going to, in return, actually dehydrate me rather than hydrate me. All of these little things, when it is important and you're thinking about making that investment in yourself, then each time you make a choice and a decision, you're going to be thinking about that. And that sets the groundwork for the foundation of the healthy lifestyle that you'll walk out in consistency. Every day is not perfect. Every day isn't a home run, but the fact that you have it set in your mind that it's a desire and it's the forefront of your mind, of your mindset to create those new beliefs and those new actions and those new habits for your lifestyle, that's how it becomes. It's been 14 years and still going strong. So I think that it has to start with your mindset, and I do a lot about what we believe and the scripture. I can't think of the scripture and verse, but I know to paraphrase, as a man believeth in his heart, so is he. So when you believe something strongly, it's imprinted and ingrained on your heart. Thanks for looking that up. And then once it's in your heart like that and you believe it, you can walk that out, and you will be amazed at the way that things will open up to meet that belief. And so that then you have this lifestyle manifested, and you're like, because I made these choices, I took these actions, and I had this belief system set in place. And it's never too late. I don't care what age someone is, when they come upon the revelation or the information, you can apply it. You can grab hold to it, get belief in it, and manifest it. You find it.
There's a lot of verses
I know.
popping
I
up,
think
and so I'm like, I'm not sure which one
I
is
think
the
it's I think it's Isaiah.
Okay, I was getting more Proverbs popping up. It's a popular book.
Okay.
Okay. So you were talking about building habits and everything, and that reminds me of Atomic Habits, right?
Yes.
Like, you don't have to build the whole pyramid in a day. You just lay a brick every day, and eventually you get to the goal that you're trying to set and everything. So with that in mind, like, everybody's different. Like, how do you work with like unique individuals when they're like, I like laying 2 bricks a day and then I take a day off, or like everybody's got a different way. So what are some ways that you help them build long term?
I think it's important to meet people where they're at. So if someone is more advanced in their information that they have, their education for nutrition, or exercise, they're at a different exercise level, then I'll meet them where they're at. We'll have one-on-one consultations. We'll really get to the nitty-gritty of what their desires are, what goals they actually have. Everyone doesn't have the same goal. Everyone doesn't have the same level. Clients from ages 25 up to 65. And so working with everyone, there's always something that can be done. There's movement that can be done for someone who is 65. There's movement that thankfully I can still do most of what a 25-year-old is doing. So whatever that is required for each client, I meet them where they're at. And try and bring them along the road, because I have been on that whole road from the beginning to where I'm at now. There's still places I can go, and if I meet a client where maybe they're a little further along than me, then we can collaborate and talk about that and figure out where we can meet in the middle or how I can still assist them. So it's a collaboration between me and the client to make sure that their needs are being met. They understand the goals that they have set, and what I can do to help them achieve those things. But yeah, meeting them where they're at is how we deal with the diversity and the different clients, because there are always different modified exercises that can be done, low impact. And then there is my love of cardio, that, you know, if someone wants to take that baton, I can do that with them. But it's an understanding of what the needs are, and then helping them reach that goal. There are some people who nutrition is not an issue for them, but they just can't seem to maintain that inspiration and motivation to get the movement in and to exercise. So, you know, doing some brainstorming and getting them to understand ways that they can get that movement into their normal, regular day-to-day life through functional fitness as well, to help them reach that goal that they may have to make the extra changes in their body that they're looking to create.
Well said.
Okay.
That's all I
Thank
got.
you.
Do you have any questions for me?
What would be, you are on the younger end of a client.
I used to be young. Back in the day, I used to be young. Now I'm on the younger end.
Younger.
Keep moving.
What would you expect or need or want, or what would be a question that you would have for a wellness coach that you are giving a consultation, giving an interview for? Like, hey, I want to have a consultation with you. I want to take you on as my wellness coach. What are some of the things that you would ask?
Honestly, I travel a lot, and my schedule as a freelance filmmaker, freelance artist, whatever, is always different. So if there was any flexibility in your schedule is obviously cool, but if there was a way that I had a product or just a resource like a journal or something that I can take, because I might want to work out at 3 a.m. one day. I might want to work out at 4 p.m., whatever.
Right.
Do you have ways that you could help people who might not be able to get on the phone with you all the time, but like wherever they are, they still can? Yes,
and that's a great question. And the fact that I am, in a sense, remote and mobile myself, there isn't a brick and mortar. It's an online based service that I provide. Anyone who is local, I can touch points. And, you know, if it permits for me to travel, then I can touch points that way. But because it's primarily a digital of sharing of my information and my journey and my skill, I have workout routines that are available for purchase. I have meal plans. I have recipes. If someone's looking to change their diet, since 2010, I became a vegetarian. I'm not quite vegan, vegetarian, but even incorporating to the point of making my own almond milks, cashew milk, coconut milk, oat milk, own cheeses, things like that. I have dedicated to learn how to do so that I can eat sustainably. I really don't trust the food industry as much as I would like to. And so anywhere where I can make a change on my own, or I can have a little bit more agency and control over that, I have done so. And so I have recipes that are available. I have journals tracking information to try and so you can kind of work through your journey. I even have programs that I have come up with and created that are available so that if someone is on that journey, either in the beginning, the middle, or if they're just trying to level up, they feel like they've pretty much accomplished things and they're closer to the end, but they just want to level up. I have resources and instructional guides and things that are available to meet any of those needs. And so I've been working really hard to make sure that I have taken what's in here and put it in a format so that it can be shared easily with the most benefit, so that I can make sure that the impact that I want to make with people to help them to live a healthier life. Because as I said earlier, it's much more simple than someone may think. Not saying that it's, it doesn't have hard times, but overall the process is simple. But we do have to shift our paradigm and our mindset in order to kind of believe and get on board with that, so that we can set that foundation and get that proper lifestyle going. And the freedom that you have when you're in great health, the mobility that you have, the confidence that you have, it is more rewarding than any sugary, prepackaged, liquid, dessert or anything I've ever eaten. And so it's well worth it. And if someone needs help, I am here for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, that distinction between like simple and easy sounds important because like the easy way usually gets you the worst results versus like having discipline and doing the thing that follows like a simple philosophy. Yeah, and the benefit is I've walked out that journey, and so when I say walk with me, I'm continuing to do what I can to level up for myself, but then also because I've walked that journey from the beginning to this point, and I still have several more years here, God willing, and so I've done the work. I've walked it out, and so to have that plan that I can set out for someone else, so that they can have a better understanding of where some pitfalls may be, or how to avoid some things, so that they can get to that end result quicker. That's the goal. Cool. Yes. I'm done. Yes. I was like. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you, interviewer back there, for asking me those questions. That was pretty good. And I hope that the information I shared helped you guys. I always try and share the podcast in my reels. And if for some reason it's not in the Instagram reel, then just know that it may be on my YouTube channel, which is also Walking in Wellness. And I'll try and share that information so that you guys can see the replay of this. Save it for later if you want to go back through anything. Always feel free to DM me with any questions or information that you may want me to dig into or share with you. I am available for that. Thank you again for you guys showing up, and I hope that you prioritize your health and keep walking in wellness. Take care.